This video is brought to you by EA Game Changers. In Season 9, there's nowhere to hide. Apex Legends Legacy sees the introduction of the game's first ever new permanent mode, Arenas. In this all-new 3v3 experience, players use crafting materials at the start of each round to purchase the perfect loadout from the replicator. Similar systems can be found in the likes of CSGO and Valorant for anyone who's unfamiliar with Apex. Extra crafting materials can be found in and around the battlefield during each round, so make sure you pick it up so you have a little extra cash to spend at the start of next round. Once you've picked that perfect loadout, you can take a few seconds to enjoy the view. Or maybe enjoy being viewed. Why is she still looking at me? Help! Before jumping into an intense 3v3 scenario. In this mode, there's no RNG, no third parties, and most importantly, no excuses. As the rounds progress, you'll earn more crafting materials to upgrade your loadout or change things up if you're not feeling it. This will also allow you to adapt to your enemy's playstyle as the game progresses. Another important factor to arenas is that abilities are limited. Players will only have a limited amount of uses of their tactical ability per round, and more of which can be bought in the replicator before each round. Ultimate abilities can also be purchased in the replicator, but it's going to cost you a little bit extra. The first team to win 3 rounds wins, but in those tighter games, you'll need to have at least a 2-point lead on your opponents in order to seal the win. If it goes all the way to round 9, well, that's where the fun begins. Round 9 is sudden death, red body shields, a huge amount of crafting materials, and the first team to wipe wins. So now you know how the game works, let's talk about the best possible team composition you can run in Arenas mode. In this tightly packed 3v3 mode, the combination of legends that you run on your team can make a huge impact on the outcome of the game. Having a good spread of abilities to cover all grounds needed is a really good way of making sure that you have the edge on your opponents. From my experience, each team needs at least one character that is able to go out and take the fight to the opponents. A combat-focused legend. For me, the best choice in this scenario has to be Bangalore. Bangalore's passive ability is going to allow you to run rings around your opponents and have that increased strafe speed in those 1v1 situations. Her tactical smoke can also be really useful for covering a flank or to help your teammates get out of a sticky situation. Having a strong support legend on the team is also really good for on-the-fly healing or reviving. Having a team member go down in Arenas mode is a big deal, so having a legend like Lifeline there who can passively res and shoot at the same time is a big utility to have. Likewise with Gibraltar, who can bubble res at the same time as well, but of course he is going to be out of the fight during the duration that he is reviving. Unlike Lifeline though, Gibby has a lot of different utilities and his dome can be used for a variety of different plays, and one of his main uses is that you can use his bubble offensively to force the team into a fight. My third and final pick for a team composition would be a legend with mobility based abilities. Legends like Horizon, Pathfinder and Valkyrie are easily able to get in and out of fights a lot quicker than other legends, and are also able to get to positions that other legends can't quite as easily get to, and create angles to shoot down on opponents, giving you the upper hand in a fight. With that being said, my ultimate team composition would probably be Bangalore, Pathfinder and Gibraltar to offer the most amount of utility from abilities. Moving on, let's take a look at the brand new exclusive maps coming to the arena mode in Apex Legends Season 9. First up, let's take a look at Party Crasher. As you all know, Mirage loves to fly around in his boat and, well, this time he may have gotten a little bit too excited and crashed into the downtown plaza of a once bustling city. The other new exclusive map is called Phase Runner. The Phase Runner you all know and love from Olympus isn't the only of its kind, and this one is on the top of a mountain as a test facility for the Phase Runner tech. There are also 3 other maps for arenas that have been converted from popular POIs across the 3 Battle Royale maps that we already know and love from Apex already. Those are going to be Artillery, Thermal Station and Gardens. Both of the new maps work in a similar way. They both have POIs to the left and to the right of the map. With each passing round, you'll switch sides and have enough time every game to explore both sides of the map. So then, we've talked about POIs, we've talked about maps, and we've talked about team composition, but what exactly should you be buying from the replicator at the start of every round? Well, the beauty of it is the choice is entirely yours, but of course you are restricted to the amount of crafting materials you have at the start of every round, so you can't quite get everything you want every round. Off the drop, I would often opt for the wingman to be my first purchase of the game, as it's a really strong weapon off the drop and often doesn't even need attachments to be a strong gun, compared to other weapons which you may feel need attachments to reach their full potential. As the rounds go on, I would often opt for something a little bit more versatile. The R301 was often my weapon of choice, as we all know it's a weapon for all ranges and can really do anything you want it to. As for a secondary, I found the Bocek Bow to be a really great choice. It allows you to cover those long ranges in a relatively stealthy manner, and when upgraded, you can get hop-ups on it that allow you to have a better close range potential. But weapons aside, you always need to make sure you have enough crafting materials left over for your heals and abilities. If you want to play it risky, you can always try and challenge for the supply bins in both maps, which contain 2 shield batteries, a medkit and a phoenix kit every single round, so you may not feel the need to spend your crafting materials on heals if you feel that you're good enough to get your hands on that loot. You may instead wish to invest in abilities instead, which can swing the fight in any given way. Having an extra smoke grenade or bloodhound scan really could make the difference in those clutch moments. And don't forget, the crafting materials left around the map can offer you more materials at the start of the next round, so if you feel you're low, make sure you go and grab them in the middle of the round so that next round you're going to have enough to get exactly what you want in your loadout. To finish up, I'd like to talk a little bit about my opinions of what I played of arenas so far and where I see it taking Apex Legends in the very near future. I have to say, when I first heard about arenas mode, I was skeptical about how well it would play in a game like Apex Legends, but I was so wrong. Arenas mode plays absolutely amazingly in this game. The way the game mode has been developed to make it a fair and engaging experience for players of all types and all different legends in the game is really promising. Every single legend is viable in this game mode, and it's going to allow teams to play the game in exactly the way they want to. The loadout progression system worked absolutely perfectly, and it felt correctly paced for the pace of the game. It definitely rewards proactive players who go out and get the crafting materials from the arena during each round, and awards players who actually contribute to the round more, but no player is going to be left in the dust. Everyone's going to have a good loadout at the right time. I can actually see this mode being the future of Apex Legends competitive. It completely negates and retracts all of the RNG elements and third-partying elements of the Battle Royale game mode, which is a problem that Battle Royale has as a genre as a whole when it comes to competitive. This game mode is going to allow teams to take each other on with none of those elements costing them the game. Overall, I think this new game mode is an entirely new way to play Apex Legends and is really healthy for the progression of the game as a whole. It's going to give people a completely different way to play Apex and fall in love with the characters, and I think it has been implemented absolutely perfectly. I'm really excited for future maps and updates to see where Arenas goes in the future. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but until next time guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, and goodbye.